Please rise
The College of New Jersey.
for our flag salute and a moment of silence for our men and women serving in our armed forces.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Notice requirements of the open public meeting law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger published a notice on December 18, 2020. Copy was posted on the municipal bulletin board, and it should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Spiller, Councilman FICARRA.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan. Here. Councilwoman Drum. Councilman Patel.
Here.
Councilman Anderson.
Here.
Councilwoman DeJesus.
Here.
Vice President Bauer and President Small.
Here.
I get a motion to approve the minutes from July 6, 2021.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, taking letter A first, which is an ordinance amending Article 21, Finance and Taxation, and this is to set forth a medical cannabis transfer tax at 2% on all sales or transfers of cannabis products from the medical cannabis dispensary. That said, can I get a motion that to be taken up on second and third reading?
Motion.
Public hearing be
Second.
open. Any other questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter A only.
Good evening, Tom Maris, Forge, New Jersey. I'm sorry, John, I couldn't quite hear you on that. I heard something about 2%. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
I said it was a 2% cannabis transfer tax
Okay.
for all the sale and transfer of all cannabis products from the medical cannabis dispensary.
So medical or recreational or both? And as a 2%, would that then accrue to the Woodbridge coffers as far as taxation is concerned?
Yes.
Just
This is just medical.
That's recreational in the past,
Yeah.
prior meetings.
I'm sorry,
We passed the recreational tax in the prior meeting. This is the medical marijuana.
all right, what is that recreational tax?
Same, 2% on all.
Oh, so it's 2% either way. Well, then I was right. It's 2% tax, whether it be medical or recreational. Why are we taxing medical products? I mean, I saw that with the masks too, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. It was mandated that everybody have masks, and we had to pay sales tax on a personal protection device, which I thought was asinine. But why are we charging a tax for people that are medically required or allowed to have a product to help them? Isn't that counter?
Which believe it's appropriate to help balance our budget and lessen the burden on our taxpayers.
That doesn't lessen, that puts more of a burden on everybody because you're now taxing people that need medical device.
Majority of which
So
don't
if I
live
go
in
to my
Woodbridge.
dentist, you're going to tax me for going to my dentist as well?
No, no one said that, Mr. Maris.
Okay, I
Most of
am.
this tax will be paid on the people who buy it, most of which do not live in Woodbridge Township, so it's a big boon to the taxpayers of Woodbridge Township.
Where they live is immaterial.
I know it's not immaterial
The
because
sheriff
they
of
don't live in
Nottingham
town.
used to collect taxes on people passing through too.
Every dollar
Why
we
are we
collect-
taxing on medical?
Every dollar we collect from the medical marijuana tax is one less dollar we collect from our taxpayers, and since the vast majority of people who pay the medical marijuana tax do not live in town, it's a big benefit to the taxpayers of Woodbridge Township.
Sure. We give millions away to developers, but we're going to tax
We don't
people
give
that
millions
are
away to
sick.
developers.
Thank you.
Every project has taxes, you know that, we've said it a million times.
Are there any other comments this evening on letter A only? Hearing none, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The second reading is an amendment to Chapter 7 of the revised ordinance of the Township of Woodbridge with regards to the speed limit on Ann Terrace Drive. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter B only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. There are no first reading ordinances this evening, and Mr. President, I have 26 resolutions, if I can get approved by consent, 1 through 26.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Mitch, I'll be abstaining from number 26.
Any other comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. That's it.
Thank you. At this time, we'll go into the public portion of our meeting. If you wish to say something, go up to the mic, state your name, where you live, and you have a 5-minute one-time period.
Good evening, members of the council. Charles Cradaville. I'm the Central Jersey organizer at Food and Water Watch, and I do want to follow up on the discussion we've had about the proposed power plant in the Casby section of town. FYI, the DEP has issued an air quality alert for this county today through midnight tonight. Their statement is, quote, sensitive individuals, including those with heart or lung diseases, the elderly and young, should limit strenuous activities and the amount of time active outdoors. Unfortunately, the reason for this problem is some of the wildfires that are burning in other parts of the country, and they're, have brought what's called particulate matter, small particles, in our air to this area, and according to the DEP, the particulate matter, quote, is forecast to rise into the unhealthy level for sensitive groups. So, in light of all this, it really continues to perplex and confuse me why this council would support the construction of a new dirty gas power plant that would emit, according to their own application, something on the order of 120 additional tons of particulate matter. And so, as the climate crisis continues to cause extreme weather and bring more air problems to Middlesex County, how can this council be okay with contributing to additional pollution at this time when we're at such a crossroads and need to make such a drastic change? Why will this council continue to do the same thing by supporting this power plant? I know I do have a request I sent you just today to get a meeting on this issue, but I do want to hear from you if you have any thoughts, or if this it makes sense to you like it does to me, that we need to change course and not build more pollution emitting facilities here.
I don't have a comment for you, sir.
Okay. I do see the mayor's here, and I've been in a number of meetings. This is the first time I'm here with the mayor, and I know, the mayor also supports building the dirty gas power plant in Casby, and I was hoping, through you, Mr. Chair, would the mayor like to give, the public his thoughts on this matter?
Mayor?
There's nothing before this council or the administration regarding that power plant. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
Okay, as we've discussed, there was a long-term tax exemption granted by this council. Regardless of that, it's not too late for the council to take a stand and do the right thing and adopt the resolution that would oppose building another dirty gas power plant in Woodbridge. We already have two, and it's more than enough to supply the energy needs of the township. We can't be sacrificing certain areas to be zones where we're just going to pollute the heck out of them. This is an environmental justice community. We need to protect it. It's already been damaged. Our air quality is already not great, and we need to do better, so I encourage you to do that. And I will just conclude with a couple questions wearing a different hat. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today, community newspaper here. I did want to ask why the Woodbridge Redevelopment Agency canceled their meeting today.
We're under no obligation to disclose that, Council President.
Okay.
Okay, just figured people would want to know why that important agency didn't meet today. I have some outstanding questions for Mr. Simaluka regarding the greens at Avenel. There was a promise of a synthetic field made when that project was before one of the land use boards, and I got to check it out, and there's no synthetic field there. In fact, it's just like a piece of grass fenced in, just like all the other grass around it. And I was curious, who's responsible for that decision? Did that save the developer money? And also, how does one go about renting that field or using that field? I notice it's padlocked.
Anybody can call the Recreation Department if they'd like to rent the field or use the field. As far as what was in the plan, sometimes things change and we negotiate different aspects of what the developer's contribution would be. And I don't personally recall a turf field. I know it was a soccer field. I don't ever recall it being a turf field. But in any event, there's a soccer field, and there are other things that were included that the town got the benefit of that weren't in the agreement.
Just for the record, you have to bring your own goals, so it's not going to be easy to play soccer there. Thank you.
Are there any other comments this evening from the public?
Good evening, everybody. John Bertari, Woodbridge. I'm kind of rushed today. There's a talk around the town, what's going to happen to certain things in Woodbridge what's going to happen when the 45 school is relocated to Rove Avenue in Avenel. On its site where there's 45 school, there's a rumor around it's going to be a parking lot. Is that true or not? And when you talk about the monument over here, people complain about traffic. We know it's going to happen. But again, what's the destiny of that monument up front over here? Is that going to be replaced, or it's going to be where it's going to be moved to? And the third most important lately would be Rio Diner. It's going to be torn down or be moved across the Knights of Columbus building across the street. And I just don't believe probably it's going to happen. But just those three things, could anybody answer me, Mayor, or anybody else?
Number one, School 4 and 5, the old school to become a parking lot?
That's what they say. Once when you tear it down, when you move to the new school and it's going to be built, they're going to tear the school down and make the parking lot for the train station. That's it.
I believe that's a Board of Ed decision, but that's not what I believe is going on.
So it's not a mayor's decision?
Mayor?
I know of no decision made by the board yet, but it's their decision, not ours.
Okay, thank you. And again, on the monument.
There are no plans to move the monument or alter it in any way.
What's that, Mayor?
There are no plans to move the monument or alter it in any way.
There are no plans?
No, you got to stop listening to rumors.
Thank you. How about the Rio Diner? Does anybody know about that?
No idea. First I'm hearing of it.
First, let me hear about it.
The Rio Diner wouldn't fit where the Knights of Columbus is in its current form and current size, and they just spent $1 million fixing it, I'd say 5-6 years ago. So if somebody wants to spend that money and then blow it up 5 years later and build a new restaurant, I don't know what they would put where the Rio Diner is.
I don't think, because you talk about the Widow Mazes developing the 80 units, they don't know just how they're going to put 80 units at such a small site where the Widow Mazes is. So people had the impression that because the 3 stores was a striking fist what it was, they were all empty, and that they owned, I believe, the parking lot next to Rio Diner, which is now. So they told people think about all that is going to come down and build those 80 units, whatever it is.
No, in fact, the 3 stores in what we call the Karate Building, that owner is doing a major facelift of that building, including a rooftop garden. They're changing the entire facade, and they're looking for tenants now. I mentioned that in the State of the Township address back in January, and there's pictures of what the facade will look like on our website if you'd like to look it up.
Maybe, Mayor, you should put something really because people are really concerned that they think that's not the right thing to do it.
I'm not putting anything to combat rumors. When I have facts, I'll put them out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are there any other comments this evening from the public?
Good evening, Tom Maris, Forge, New Jersey. Just as a matter of courtesy, would the council consider putting a podium up here for people so that when we do come up, we have something in hand that we can rest it on? I mean, the Board of Education is certainly polite enough to do that, and I think it would benefit a lot of the people here. when they do bring something, it's kind of awkward to stand here trying to handle papers and talk to the council and or the administration at the same time. Just something for consideration if you want to be that polite. I have a couple of questions, and I'm just going to say them, and please come back and answer them at the end of my time, or before my time ends, as the case may be. There were two resolutions this evening, 1 and 2. One is a resolution for FY fiscal year 22 Main Street Improvement District in the amount of $266,000. The other one is resolution for Oak Tree Special Improvement. That's $937,550. Can you please explain what is going to, that money is specifically going to be used for? Moving on.
Mr. Maris, if I can I
I'm
just
sorry.
respond to that quickly? We're going to have a public hearing on that as soon as the public comment is over. So if we can hold that till then.
Okay, let me hold that in abeyance then, and then I can get back and adjust it at that point. Nick. Thank you. So can you take that off my time? Back me up a little bit. Yeah, on July 6th when I was here, and I want to clarify something for the council and for the mayor as well. When I speak, I can't speak for others, but when I speak and say there's no tax, I fully appreciate what a pilot program is. I've never said that it's no tax. It is a reduced tax by nature. It's there to attract businesses into a community that would otherwise perhaps be not using or be under, pardon me, underutilized space. That said, the mayor did say that because of just the downtown area development, that instead of an allocation, I went back and listened to the tapes, of $1 million that we might have been deriving from those properties, they are now enhanced to about $5 million per annum because of the development. There's no mention of the offset of the increased the burden that goes on, particularly when we get into the apartment complexes, which I said the last time, add a lot to the infrastructure costs, schooling, sewers, electrical, all that goes with it, certainly the traffic as well. And the question then becomes, and I think Ken Gardner had raised that, if it hadn't been for the tax abatement, and particularly in this hot market, might not that $48 million that the mayor has spoken about be well over $100 million? And there's where when I say they're getting a tax break, that's what I'm referring to, that differential. And certainly that money would do a long way in reducing the taxes. And that said, with all that additional income that the mayor claims we're going to be receiving, how much are you going to reduce the taxes in this town or put a cap on them so that taxpayers no longer see an increase and more things go in? And let's go back to the schools. The mayor said that he paid for the Ross Street School, and I'm quoting because it's on tape. How did he do that? Because that is particularly prohibited by the state of New Jersey. You're only allowed to use the pilot program money in a certain way when you're drawing from the general fund. It says specifically you have to do something that's for the betterment of the public. That doesn't include a new school. So how did this township, the mayor, give the taxpayers a new school out of that money? Because again, in his own communique back in 2013, when he wrote to the council and the school board, stating that yes, we're going to be going to the pilot programs, normally you would be getting approximately 60% of that money, but you're now going to get 25%, and that's an old handshake deal going back to 2006. So obviously the school board is derived of a lot of revenues. So when he talks about them having to ask for, they wouldn't have to ask for anything if that was coming in. That would be going money to them. But instead it goes into the general fund, which gives the administration a lot of latitude how they want to spend it. But it also limits the school as to what they can accept and how they can accept it in taking those funds. My next question gets into the Avenel Arts, and this affects Carolyn Ehrlich and Mr. Simaluka, I believe, at one point, and I don't know if they're still there, but they are running the corporation that now oversees the whole facility. There is an agreement that goes forth between they and the township that they would pay the township all the front-end monies that went into developing the Arts Center. I'd like to know how much of that has been paid, how much is still due to be paid, and when will it be paid? Are they solvent? And my other point is just something else. I've sat here a couple of times, or I've listened on tapes, to Mr. Dombrowski berate, or some of his companions berate this township as being racist. I found that absolutely untrue. I think we have a stellar police department. Yes, there's always incidences that can happen, but that is an outright lie, and I wanted to test it and say that that is not true.
Mr. Maris, thank you.
Thank you.
Your time.
Are there any other comments this evening from the public?
Yes, good evening. James Dabrowski, Woodbridge proper. I'd like to read a statement written by environmentalist Keith Voos that was shared with the Edison, New Jersey Council at their last meeting. Good evening, council members. I am here as a representative of the Environmental and Climate Justice Committee of the New Jersey State Conference of the NAACP, of which I am the chair of the Health, Education, Environment, and Pollution Subcommittee, and of which Marcus Sibley is chair. I also speak for the Metuchen-Edison area branch of the NAACP, of which I am the Environmental Justice Chair, and the Perth-Amboy area branch of the NAACP, which includes Woodbridge Township. My statement tonight is delivered in opposition to the proposal brought forward by Competitive Power Ventures for a second natural gas power plant in the Woodbridge Energy Center. You may ask why this matter concerns you and the citizens of Edison, and I will answer that question in the course of my remarks. Woodbridge already has 2 power plants that far exceed its energy needs, the Woodbridge Energy Center and the Seawarren Generating Station. A third plant would expose Woodbridge, Edison, Metuchen, Perth-Amboy, South Amboy, Sayreville, and other nearby communities, all classified as overburdened communities by New Jersey's first-in-the-nation environmental justice law, to rising levels of harmful pollution. According to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection and Competitive Power Ventures' own mandated disclosure data, the new power plant would annually emit an additional 2,374,632.8 tons of greenhouse gases, including nitrogen oxides, ammonia, carbon monoxide, volatile organic compounds, sulfuric acid, and formaldehyde, to name a few. Several of these toxins, as well as others omitted from my list, interact to compound the ozone problem that gives Middlesex County its F, as in failure, rating for ozone pollution from the American Lung Association. I could go on, but will simply note at this point that there are 70+ public schools within a 6-mile radius of the proposed Casby plant, including all of Edison's public schools. I don't believe the respected and hardworking members of the Edison Council want to expose their community school children to the added health risks associated with another nearby power plant. The rush to approve the Casby facility would circumvent the clear intent of the New Jersey Environmental Justice Law before its rulemaking phase is completed. Therefore, I ask on behalf of the State Environmental and Climate Justice Committee and the NAACPs of Metuchen, Edison, and Perth-Amboy that Edison adopt a resolution opposing the approval of the Casby plant. Such action on the part of affected communities in Hudson County came to the attention of Governor Murphy, who directed the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection not to issue the air permits needed to build 2 new fossil fuel power plants there. This is the stated aim of my bringing this matter to the attention of the Edison Council on behalf of 3 NAACP organizations representing their members and constituents who live in Edison and in adjoining jurisdictions. It is an obvious contradiction of a democratic governing body's paramount responsibility to advance the common good of its constituents, including their health and well-being, to allow the construction of the proposed power plant. Therefore, I urge the Council to take action which may prevent that looming public health setback at the earliest possible time. Thank you for giving me time to speak this evening. And as I mentioned, that statement was written by my fellow NAACP member Keith Voos and was delivered at Edison's last council meeting and was well received by the Edison Council, who agreed to put the resolution on the agenda for their next meeting so that it can be voted on. And that's what we're asking for tonight, for the resolution to be put on our next meeting's agenda so that you, our elected representatives, can vote on it. So, Council President Small, will you please consider making the same commitment to the people of Woodbridge Township?
I'm not committing to that at this point. No, Mr. Dombrowski.
Will you consider it?
We'll consider it.
Any other council members like to consider that besides our council president?
Council President, may I? When this first came up.
Wait, can I have a few, I don't want to, can this be your time and not mine? I'm sorry, I don't want to, I have one more thing.
I'm sorry, I thought you asked the question.
I do, okay, you know what?
No.
Yeah, no.
Finish. I'll wait. Go ahead. Finish up, please, Jim.
Okay, I have a copy of the resolution here and I emailed it to you all as well. I was out with the group last week. I just want to mention this because I know at 5 minutes I'm done. I can't get a second turn. I was out with a group last week touring the flood zone area at the end of Crampton Avenue, just around the corner from us. And while we heard from former residents who had moved out of Woodbridge in frustration with the township after their homes were flooded, we saw how Woodbridge is now trying to make things right through the Blue Acres program. This gives me hope that although we initially made a mistake in agreeing to yet another fossil fuel power plant, it's not too late to make things right and stop this proposed plant. I teach elementary school health and physical education, and each year around Earth Day we do our environmental health lessons, often reading the Dr. Seuss classic, The Lorax. There's a famous quote from the book, "Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not." My students always ask me, what are we doing? What can we do? Well, passing this vital resolution is just one small thing we can do as a community to show we really do care about our children and their futures. Sorry, Mr. FICARRA, I just wanted to say that. Please, if you can continue.
Mr. Cradaville, I think I'm saying that right, brought this up quite a while ago, over a month, and then similar to what you brought up, Ms. Amber Jarrett brought it up. And through Mayor McCormac, who gave me some leads for the Department of Environmental Protection in the state, I reached out. I actually spoke, I can't remember who, but it's in a letter that I sent to Ms. Jarrett, who forwarded it to Mr. Cradaville, that we had a group of people come in, express concern about the environment and this power plant. And that's the best I can, because it's a state issue. But I did express the concerns, I shared the information, and I acted on my own. I didn't do that on behalf of the council, but I did want to let you know that I discussed it with my council mates, and just so you know, because you're coming to the dance now, and Mr. Cradaville had this month and a half to 2 months ago, I think, when we first brought it up. So I just wanted to share that with you.
I appreciate that. Justice for Nigeria Parks, justice for Jeremiah Dennis Porter. Black Lives Matter, stop the KSB power plant.
Are there any other comments this evening from the public? Hearing no other comments, could I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We will now go into the public hearing on both of these SID budgets, beginning with the Main Street Special Improvement District budget in the amount of $266,000. Council be reminded that this is a budget that was put together by the Downtown Merchants Association and approved. And the second is the Oak Tree Road Special Improvement District. Similarly, the members of that district also have approved. Their budget continues to remain flat, as it has for many years. That said, can I get a motion to open the public portion comment on the meeting on the SID budgets only?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public portion is now open on the two SID budgets.
Good evening again, Tom Marison. Thanks for giving us a chance to go back and address this. Can you elaborate on that a little bit further? Specifically, $266,000 for Main Street. What will that produce?
Do you want to respond to the...
That is at the discretion of the board that oversees the Main Street SID.
Are there guidelines and parameters how the money can be allocated, or what it has to be allocated to? Or is this just, who gets it?
It's charged to the taxpayers in the business district that are covered by the SID. I think it's about $105,000 a year that they pay in taxes, and for the last couple of years, they have not fully spent their budget, so they're keeping it in reserve, and if they decide between now and next June 30th to spend it, they can.
Okay, that's their reserve. What does it have to do with the $266,000? I'm not quite catching.
That is the amount of the budget. That's the amount they have to spend.
That's the amount they have. So that becomes something that they don't pay taxes on at that point in time?
They've already paid taxes building that up. They pay taxes into this budget, and that's the total amount they'll have available to them in the next 12 months to spend.
And is that distributed equally between all the tax payers on?
No, it comes from the taxpayers.
Right, it's from. Forgive me, I'm a little confused. I'm not used to this. So if you can explain it in a little more clarity, at least for me, I missed some.
Businesses all pay a special tax based on their value of their property.
I'm sorry, yeah. Let me say, your mic comes across rather well on TV. It is very garbled. If you're standing over here, it breaks up quite a bit. There's a lot of static, and maybe it's just my hearing, but that's why I'm having trouble understanding what you're saying. I'm not trying to be rude.
I don't even need the mic. Businesses pay
Thank you.
tax.
Yes, they
Based
pay.
on the value of their property.
Right.
The SID then collects the tax. It pays for anything it decides to pay for on behalf of those businesses. Right now, the biggest expense was marketing the downtown business district. And anything else after that is up to them.
So you're basically giving back to the taxpayers. And then that would be applicable also on the Oak Tree Special Improvement.
Their main goal is to buy parking for downtown Island, and that's why they've been saving it for a couple of years.
Okay, so they have to then buy properties and or create parking spaces?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So certain properties are going to be flipped over to accommodate for greater parking.
If they can find a deal to buy something, yes.
Well, that's the kind of clarity I was looking for. Thank you.
Any other comments on the two Special Improvement District budgets?
John Witari, Woodbridge. This $266,000 on the Main Street improvements, which the SID, of course, is SID money, we know that. But isn't this going to just help certain developers that actually start to build on it, on the street? What they're really going to do with it is through the business. You spend an awful lot of money to yourself advertising to promote the downstart businesses, never worked. But seems to me that certain developers, they're going to build on the Main Street, which is a couple of things in the pipeline, so to speak. They be the one that are going to benefit by it, and I don't see how the other.
They're the ones that are going to pay the tax.
I know they're going to pay the tax in the future, but now you helping them.
We're helping all of the downtown business
You're
district.
helping some of the people to make it cheaper for them when they build their own buildings.
No, that's not true. I don't know where you get that from.
You don't say exactly what you're going to do with it.
It's not up to me what they're going to do with it. It's up to them what they're going to do with it. You have no basis to make that statement whatsoever.
Well, it's not the deal, but you said it. Why, if it's their business, what to do with it, why do you have to put away $266,000 that you got to approve?
We have to approve their budget by state law.
But you don't know what they're going to do with it.
It's not up to us. No, we don't know what they'll decide.
That's kind of nice to know. Thank you.
Any other comments on the SID budgets this evening? Here are no other comments. Can I get a motion that the public portion be closed and the resolutions be adopted?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Mayor?
If I could, I just want to clear up something about the CPV power plant. That came to us way back in 2008. It took a long time for the state to decide to move ahead with that process. The whole time, we wanted something to happen there because it was simply the most contaminated site easily in the township, maybe in the county or a larger area. It was radioactive. We're all for environmental justice, but the worst thing that anybody can live near, regardless of their income status or wealth, the worst thing anybody can live near is a radioactive site. And we knew that CPV would come in and there would be a second phase of CPV because they were doing it in 2 phases. And we knew that was good for the township because it literally cleaned up a radioactive site. Nobody wants to live near that. All these schools that are near the power plant, all these homes that are near the power plant, were near a radioactive site. And that's why we approved the power plant. It may not be great. I'm not an environmentalist. I can't explain all that stuff. All I know is the worst thing I can come up with anywhere that anybody would want to live next to is a radioactive site. If people have to wear specialized suits to go into a site to clean it up, I'm glad it's cleaned up. And it's still not quite totally cleaned up. So we're all for environmental justice. We understand what all the rules are. Is it the best thing for some people? No. But it got rid of the worst possible thing that people could live near, which is radiation. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, we'll go into the agenda portions of our meeting.
Changing insurance.
A reminder, on number 16, a reminder is our summer concerts. Again, Sunday through Thursday, Woodbridge High School. Every night's an incredible show, and please take time out and go up to Woodbridge High and visit these concerts. You'll be delighted. Again, the light parade, number 17, is coming up. We will have more info out as soon as we get it. Number 19, American Irish, halfway to St. Pat's Day, is September 19th at Woodbridge High. Again, we'll get you times as it gets closer. Just a few comments. As far as our environmental status in this town, I think we are second to none as far as doing environmental stuff. You know, Greenable Woodbridge, we win awards every single year. So to say we don't care about our environment is really totally untrue. I'd like to congratulate the 3 sergeants that were promoted yesterday to Woodbridge Police Department. And also, the mayor just left, but my fellow council mates and the administration, we committed to getting up to 215 officers this year. Director Hubner, we're going to hit that mark soon. Monday we'll be up to 215. Great job. That's all I have this evening. Again, God bless our first responders. God bless America. Councilwoman DeJesus.
Thank you, Council President. Number 5, Police Community Relations. I'm happy to say that the Junior Police Academy, this is the 2nd week for it. I attended a graduation last week, and I want to thank our police officers that are involved and make a commitment every year to run this academy. To the parents, thank you, and it's something to see the pride in these kids' faces on day of graduation. On Monday, they're scared out of their wits, and by Friday, you see the pride in their eyes, standing there knowing that they finished the week and went to all the drills. And I can honestly say that it's not something that I would volunteer to do because I'm scared of the people running the academy. But again, thank you, and I commend our police department and everyone involved because it is a great program for our youth. And congratulations to the parents that signed up their kids, and especially to those young men and women who graduated. They persisted, lasted the week, and graduated, and I'm looking forward to the graduation this week. Again, thank you. Happy to announce that our first National Night Out will be August 3rd from 6 to 9 p.m. at Woodbridge Community Center, and this is a free event for all of our township residents. Again, I urge you just to come and to hang out with our police officers and get to know them as people. Item number 8, the Hispanic Heritage Month will be September 18th in Tasman Park from 12 to 4, and that's a Saturday. There will be great food, great music, and it's just a nice time to get to know one another. And I'm going to announce that I went to the grand opening for a new business here on Main Street, Three Brothers Paint and Chill. And it was a great grand opening because it's a young man, 20 years old, graduated from Colonia High School, class of 2020, and his mom, and it's their business venture. And again, it's paint and chill. So you can have a birthday party, hang out with your girlfriends, hang out with your brothers, and just go there, bring some food, bring something to drink, and paint whatever the theme is. And I'm urging everyone to support our local businesses, again, especially those that are owned by our residents in town, and this happens to be one of them. Again, it's Three Brothers Paint and Chill right here on Main Street, so I urge everyone to just plan their parties and go there and visit and support. That is all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Meehan.
Thank you. I will go down to my agenda for number 3. Today, the township came out to Reinhardt Tower. It's a senior facility in our town, and it was a great day. We went out there was music and dancing and food and just a lot of information that we're given to the seniors about the many programs we offer here. So if you live in any of these senior facilities, just kind of keep your eye out. We're hoping to get to all the facilities just to show how many great programs we have for our seniors here. I'm going down to item number 4. On August 7th from 2 to 7 p.m., the Mayor's Summer Concert is coming to Colonia. They'll be featuring Revolver. There will be face painting and games for the children, along with a visit from the fire department. And there will be food for sale by the Colonia American Legion and beer and White Claws from the Colonia VFW. All proceeds from this event will go to our veterans organizations that have really been hurting over the year. With COVID, they haven't been getting money in, and they really are having a tough time. So everything that we collect will go to our veterans. It should be a great day. Bring a chair, a blanket, come out, and we could all use a little community and see everybody's face again. And lastly, going down to number 14, domestic violence. The DVR team is looking for volunteers to join their team in assisting victims of domestic violence. Volunteers must have a valid driver's license, complete a 40-hour training course, and attend monthly meetings. If you're interested in becoming a member of this very important team, you can call 732-634-4500, extension 2812. And if someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, please know there's a lot of help here in Woodbridge Township. We have members on call 24 hours, 7 days a week. Please reach out to them. Again, the number is 732-634-4500, extension 2802. And I hope everyone's having a happy and healthy summer. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Anderson.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I just want to make a mention that our Pop Warner cheer and football will be starting in 2 weeks. Just want to wish them all good luck this season. We have our Woodbridge Broncos, Port Reading Saints, and Ford's Bearcats. Good luck to all of them.
Thank you. Councilman FICARRA.
Boy, that's going to be tough to follow. I have a few things too. My agenda's all over the place. First, let me say I missed the last meeting, and I just wanted to extend my appreciation to the police department, the emergency medical services, the CERT team for their incredible job at our July 4th celebration, and also the pizza run the following week to be able to get on and off a peninsula with one way in and one way out in a timely and safe fashion certainly deserves a lot of thank you. So it was tremendous, and the first aid squads there keeping us safe, so greatly appreciated. Moving into my agenda, the New Jersey Senior Olympics. We're in our 14th year of Woodbridge Township hosting. The event is September 10, 11, and 12. You can go to njseniorolympics.com to register. The deadline is August 27th. Normally, it costs $30 for 3 events. That would be $10 a piece. Woodbridge residents pay $5 for 3 events, so there's a big savings. Get out there, njseniorolympics.com, or you can call 973-618-1111 and take advantage of the Woodbridge Township savings if you're a resident. The health center is offering walk-up vaccines now. The next one might be too late for TV recording, is this Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can just walk up. They have the 2-dose Moderna or the 1-dose Johnson & Johnson. You can make a reservation at 732-855-0600, extension 504. You know by Mayor McCormack's report that the incidence of the virus has increased, and it's mostly in the population of people that have not gotten the vaccine. So follow the science, and vaccines are available. They're easily available. And again, the next one is this Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the health center, and that will go on for weeks as we move along. Looking over at the Woodbridge Community Center, it's a good opportunity to get out and check. Now until the end of August, you can get 5 sessions for free, so you get a little feel for what's going on at the community center. If you're looking for some activities to do, the outdoor Skyland mini golf and batting cages are open. I was over there visiting with my wife to play mini golf last week. It was packed, but it was amazing how quickly the play moved along. There is ice skating, which seems very nice on a day like today, and also roller skating. And just finally, in closing, just mention some of the environmental issues. Woodbridge Township has taken the lead on increasing our charging stations. We have bike sharing that we're just rolling out now. We certainly have bike lanes. We were one of the first to get involved with solar energy on some of the public buildings. And I know that we're only in this discussion phases, but we're considering converting a lot of our public vehicles to energy efficient and energy safe environment vehicles. So that's all I have in David Bowie tribute band tonight. So I'll see you guys after. Thank you. I figured you would.
Councilman Patel.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. Also, my agenda is also in order. I have one announcement. IBA, which stands for Indian Business Association, is holding their annual India's Independence Day Parade on Sunday, August 8th, on Oak Tree Road in Islip. Oak Tree Road will be closed to traffic during afternoon hours from Wood Avenue to Route 27. This year, the parade is dedicated to the frontline workers, and they are having police departments, fire departments, hospital, EMTs, nursing facilities participate in this parade. So that's all for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mitch? Thank you. Director Hubner?
I have one resolution. I'm sorry. I kind of missed where you at.
Your report. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I have a resolution accepting a grant for body cameras. Sorry, I was taking it.
That's all right. Director Darden?
Thank you. Just our bi-weekly refunds. Thank you, Council President.
Business Administrator Simaluka?
Thank you, Council President. I have drug-free school zones. I have amendment to Chapter 4 for special events and private property permits required. And I have one add on to my agenda, a change order for the fireworks contract in the sum of $10,000. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Legal? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.